So I'm Chris, and this is Brendan, and we're part of this channel, PoisonCaps, because, like, yeah.
Yeah, and we're doing our first discussion, which is anime-based, because we're fucking weebs, and we just recently saw the new, or I guess won't be new by the time we upload this, but the relatively new video PewDiePie made about being embarrassed by anime.
When I watched the video, I saw it was I came into it more of a, like, informative kind of video because I was actually looking for mangas to read. So, like, some animes, because majority of these animes I never heard of, and, like, just after watching them, I actually feel inclined to actually look them up.
Yeah, I actually really like PewDiePie's taste and stuff because he's got some pretty obscure stuff. Like, I really respected the fact that he liked the Gankutsuo, which is the story of Monte Carlo, or Monte Cristo.
I think that one of them, like, so was the M, that, like, the little bit stories that we could probably watch it on Halloween. I don't remember what it's called.
Oh, Mononoke.
Yeah, that one. Not Princess Mononoke. But, like, that's very interesting. I kind of want to watch that one.
Yeah, that one's cool. I really like the art style, and the fact that he mentioned, like, Gankutsuo, because the good thing about that anime is that the art style is really weird. Like, whenever you see a texture, it's kind of like the characters move, but the texture stays in place, you know? And that's why it's a notable anime, is because of that art style, and I think that is really cool that he actually knows of this really obscure stylized anime.
Okay, so, what do you think of him calling, when he watches anime, like, embarrassing? Why do you think he actually says that?
From what I've seen from a bunch of YouTubers, they were saying that, like, oh, you know, they're kind of taking it from the clickbaity title that he put in, like, oh, I'm embarrassed about anime, and they're taking it as, oh, I'm embarrassed about watching anime. But I kind of feel that it's more of, like, it's embarrassing because this is something so personal to me that I'm sharing it with, like, literally millions of people of, like, the things that I care so much about. Which is
great, and I kind of support him on, like, him actually coming out and just stating all these really cool animes that no one, well, I never heard of, except Berserk, because, like, Berserk is so, like, I heard that so many crazy things about it, but, like, him just having great taste in animes, and I watched a ton of anime, like, throughout, since, like, middle school, and just, I'm, like, an outspoken, freaking anime watcher, also manga, because I like mangas, so, I don't know how else I should go on about this, but, like,
yeah, we'll get more used to it the more discussions we do. But I freaking love the fact that you use the phrase coming out as if he's, like, coming out of the closet being gay with his animus.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, because I don't know, like, it's kind of refreshing that he's such a huge YouTuber, but he, like, an example of this, another YouTuber, like Suzy, most people actually, he kind of watches, like, Naruto, or I believe it's Naruto.
I mean, he definitely watches Dragon Ball Z. I mean,
oh yeah,
he's made so many Kamehameha references and Spirit Bomb, all that junk.
And just like Nigihiko, who watches, his favorite show is, like, Naruto, which is pretty mainstream, but a lot of people like it.
Yeah.
And does he also make Avatar jokes? I can't remember. I mean,
I don't know. Probably.
I would people are gonna be triggered, but, like, I really do somewhat consider that Avatar is an anime, because, like,
it's very anime style, but it isn't traditionally, by definition of the word anime, an anime. Like, another show that's kind of like that is, like, anything made by, anything made by the studio that made Teen Titans. It's got that same style. Like, Ben 10 has a very anime-inspired style, and of course the new Voltron show, Legend of Korra, all that has that very stylized, thin lines, big eyes, all that junk. I think it's just really cool that PewDiePie is, like, the biggest YouTuber with, like, 50 million, and he's coming out with a video specifically on anime, because with other YouTubers, you see that they'll make, like, small little references and all that, and you can kind of connect the dots or make assumptions on what animes they like. But yeah, it's really refreshing to see just a sole video about someone's interest in anime, because you don't see that with other YouTubers.
And, like, with PewDiePie, you actually, the types of anime he watches, you could try you could kind of see what kind of genres he's into. Also, like what his personality is like. Because like usually the animes I watch is like specifically like this and this, and I just like I gravitate towards that, and that's somewhat like shows me what are my interests.
Yeah, like I'm just looking at the selection that PewDiePie has with like sci-fi and just like story and stuff. You can totally tell that he's kind of like the guy who just wants to analyze something and take things in for what they are, and isn't really about like super actiony stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's really cool. And yeah,
and that's somewhat rare because a lot of the animes that we have today are based on action and sports.
Just action and anime.
Yeah.
Like anime today, I feel is like, it sounds really weird to say, but I feel it's like very clickbait anime. Like it's anime junk food because it's stuff that you can easily take in.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a simple story and it's like, oh, action, oh, romance, oh, sports. They're very easily relatable to like any person from any culture to just take in and watch. But when it comes to PewDiePie's animes, you kind of have to sit down and just think about the story, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that.
Yeah, and then looking at like his selection of sci-fi, you can totally like assume just like the stuff that he watches. I remember watching one PewDiePie video and freaking out because he's got like a little face cam, but in the little corner I saw a Gundam model kit, and I was just like, holy shit, PewDiePie watches fucking Gundam 00, and not only that, he's got the not a master grade, perfect level grade model kit, which is like a tremendous thing. So I'm just like, oh my god, PewDiePie's a weeb Gundam maker, and he's got the biggest, like, most sought-after set. It's like, holy shit, this is amazing, and for me, it made me want to watch PewDiePie even more, because at that point, I was watching, like, 2 PewDiePie videos, then once I saw that, I'm just like, this guy is my motherfucker. So I watched all of his videos.
Like, you kind of mentioned that he would consider him as a weeb. Why?
I guess it's not him really considering himself as a weeb, like in the traditional sense of the word, but him considering himself as an otaku, because when it comes to like his comments and his content, you know, he throws weeb around just like everybody else on the internet. It's just the catch-all term for anybody who likes Japanese stuff. But I don't think he really means it when he calls himself like a weeb or something. That's just the word that he's used to saying, or how people call each other that. I just think he's very well educated in the world of anime. Yeah,
and we'll probably talk about this word weeaboo more often later in another video, so
yeah,
watch out for that.
We'll have a whole discussion on the word weeaboo and otaku and all that stuff later down the line, probably in like, I don't know, a couple weeks. I don't know.
I mean, like, yeah, I've actually watched a lot of anime, and I did go through a terrible phase, and that was my dark time. That was probably in high school.
Your anime phase doesn't leak until now?
I guess I'm lying if I did say that my weeaboo phase had been from like high school, but it's really, I started to actually come about from that around like junior, maybe? I'm not really sure, but we'll talk about it some more later.
Yeah, we'll talk about our weeb phases that leak into now, but yeah, that's a discussion for another time.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I mean, like, I'm going to probably give a list of animes in the near future, so maybe you could watch out for that. You will probably see what type of anime I watch, which is, most of them are, like, they're debatable on, like, because, like, my tastes are very, very, I would not like to admit it, but it's pretty mainstream.
Yeah. I don't know, that's another thing I liked about PewDiePie, is that his videos were so very, I wouldn't say underground, but just less known. Because when it comes to like I don't even know what word to say, schedule, watching stuff, your list, and when it comes to my list, it's all just very, like I referred to before, anime junk food, where it's just easily taken in stuff. You can easily just like watch one episode and get the story and the character development and know where it's at. Yeah, I think that's very cool of PewDiePie to do. And the fact that he's got 50 million means that he's probably gonna hopefully inspire some other YouTubers to come out with their own anime recommendations. I mean, it works because we've got Aki, Anime Man, Lost Paws, all those guys coming out making videos.
Oh, and don't forget Misty.
Yeah.
Misty.
And those guys making videos about his video, especially us, since we're a half anime channel. So, yeah, fuck, I had a thing I was about to say, but now I can't fucking remember it because we've been rambling on. God damn it. What's an anime you'd be embarrassed to talk about? I mean, if you're not embarrassed already, to just say that you'd very much enjoy.
I'm very embarrassed when I talk about Hetalia. I mean, like, I really love it. It's just that sometimes I actually have a favorite character in the anime, and I feel very embarrassed every time I like mention it, because like when I start talking about it, I just get very hyped, and I'm just very happy about it, because it's like it's 5 minutes of your life's wasted, but it's a great concept when you're trying to learn the history of like European history, and like from this perspective from the Japanese.
Yeah, dude, I remember that actually does help, because I remember I went to San Francisco one day. I think this was a Force Friday last year, so that's what, September something 2015, before Star Wars Episode 8 came out. So, and the stores were all closed at like since I got to SF at around 8, so I went to Japantown, and I went to that library place, and I remember looking through the manga sections, and these freaking weeb guys, these weeb kids, were just talking about Hetalia, and they're just like, man, I aced my geometry.
Geography.
Okay, so geometry class, and they're just like, man, I watch Hetalia, and it's so great for this class, blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, man, I'm an introvert. I want to talk to them about how Hetalia is pretty cool and stuff, but fuck, I can't talk to people.
I know, and I get pretty embarrassed every time we talk about Hetalia. But like, funny enough, I kind of use Hetalia as a weapon. Because
yeah, how so?
Oh my gosh, it's hilarious, because every time I like talk to a friend or something, I get so hyped up, and then I'm like off the walls, and I talk about my favorite character, who is, I'm not gonna mention because I will say that later on, because like I will gush if I say this country's name, but like man, I feel a little bit
a little flustered.
Yeah, very, very flustered.
Now we know how PewDiePie feels.
Yeah, when it comes to Hetalia, I just feel like, oh man, because like this show, it's considered like only for weeaboos or something. I don't know, but like Hetalia is not really my favorite, because right now the latest anime that I'm really into is Yuri on Ice. Please check it out, because like, oh my gosh.
I don't know, for me, I guess an anime that I feel embarrassed about, you know, that's kind of a hard thing to think about for me, because I am a pretty open guy about my anime. I like my romantic stuff, and I like my Gundams, but I guess something that I would be embarrassed about, or just something that I have a hard time talking about, is classic mecha, because nowadays you see like all the top current mecha shit. You see like Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, and you see the Gundams, and you see Code Gay Ass, and you see Macross. I didn't like Code Gay Ass.
Oh, that was like one of the older I think that was one of my first Gundam animes. Like
mechas.
Yeah.
Because
I can't really get in. I'm sorry, but yeah. I can't really get into mechas.
Yeah.
Like those are one of the animes I can't really get into.
Well, it's like that's like one of the like noob level mechas, because it's not really about the mechas themselves.
Yeah,
it's more about the characters.
Yeah, I think when I look at anime, I kind of look for the character development, also the plot, and Hetalia has none of that.
Yeah, and that's why I think Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann, like, it's a fantastic anime by Studio Trigger, or before they were called Trigger, but, yeah, hashtag triggered. But, yeah, that's why I didn't really like that anime, because it focused more on characters. And that sounds like a really shitty thing, because it's like, oh, this show has character development, fuck that show, I just want stupid shit and robots, but, I don't know, that's just kind of how I feel. I really like the action, and it's embarrassing for me to talk, because nobody really knows of, like, classic mecha. I don't know anybody who knows of Go Lion, which is Voltron before it was Americanized, and Mazin Kaiser, Gao Gaigar, all that good anime stuff. And yeah, there's just really no one to talk to about that kind of stuff, because I've got people to talk to about Gundam and stuff. So I guess that would be something embarrassing. And I guess another embarrassing thing is one of my favorite animes of all time, Princess Jellyfish. So I really like that because it's got a hot guy and a bunch of nerd girls, and I don't know, it's just one of my favorite things to look at. I've got a soft spot for legitimate romance with a slight bit of satire and parody in it.
I still need to watch that.
It's so good. I remember we were in a Skype call, like, what was it, 4 years ago or 3 years ago, where I linked everybody in the Skype chat to an episode, but it was in English, so everybody was like, And if you haven't watched the first episode starts off with like a monologue of like Tsukimi, and how when she was a little kid she was just saying that oh, every girl is born a princess and all that. And I remember hearing you, like, I played that over the Skype chat and I heard you like freaking like gag when you heard that.
Yeah, it's
because it was just like so overly girly.
Yeah, because like I feel like I'm more of a tomboy, that's why. And especially now that I'm like older, as a kid I was really obsessed with princesses. Like, I'm a total Disney kid. I grew up on Disney. I was just like everyone else in America, I guess, but some probably I shouldn't exclude like other countries, because maybe you guys also watch Disney princesses when you grew up.
Yeah, dude, Disney's fucking huge all over all over the world.
Yeah,
it's a huge thing.
So like and then I remember, like, specifically with princesses, you have to be proper and pretty, and like, oh, you should be able to do this and that. I'm just like, no, I don't do any of that. So I guess that's why I was just like, no, that description does not fit me.
Yeah, and the thing is like, if like, you just gag at the first 30 seconds, but if you go beyond the first 30 seconds, it's all like, oh yeah, my mom said girls are princesses, and some girls just don't know it yet. I'm one of those girls. And then it like zooms out and it's like she lists off like, oh, girls have to be pretty, and then shows her with like no makeup, and it's like, girls have to be proper, and she's got wearing like baggy clothes, and it's like, my mom says girls must be this, but I'm totally not this, and neither are my friends, and we're okay being losers.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. And then seeing that she meets a girl, air quotes, girl, who's got all that features of a princess. Yeah, I just thought it was really funny. I think that's pretty cool. That's one of my favorites, along with Old Mecha, even though nobody talks about that.
So I guess that's all we have today, and yeah.
Yeah, to like all the 3 people listening to this video right now, what's an anime you're embarrassed about? Embarrass yourself in front of everybody else on the internet. And by embarrass yourself, I mean, like, I don't know, probably tell the 4 of us at PoisonCap, or maybe even like the 3 of us, because frickin' our second editor Margot doesn't really do anything on the channel besides do like little vines. They do stuff for the PoisonCap Tumblr, which you should check out and follow.
Yeah, so bye.
See you next time. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in, or add that as an end slate.